Hi, 皆さん、こんにちは. This is the unit for lesson 1. In this lesson, we're going to be learning 3 ways to describe the giving and receiving transactions. Now, actually, giving and receiving in Japanese is rather complicated. It would depend on in which direction the item is moving and from whose perspective you're looking at it. So, like giving action, like Kumi gave a concert ticket to Kazuma. Like I received chocolate from my girlfriend. So that's like transaction of items. This is giving and receiving. And this is actually not so simple as it is in English. So first of all, we're going to focus on ageru and morau. Well, this is a way of saying giving and receiving. Morau, ageru is basically giving. Morau is basically receiving. The how to make that into a sentence is that for ageru, subject is the giver. So giver は receiver に object をあげる。私はかなさんに化粧品をあげます。So I give cosmetics items to かなさん。I give to かなさん cosmetics. かなさんに化粧品をあげます。That's to give. For receiving, you もらう, you use もらう. Receiver is the subject. は giver にをから、giver からオブジェクトをもらう。私は妹から漫画をもらいました。I received from my sister a comic book. So, あげる and もらう take in different particles. This basically describes giving and receiving. Now, this might sound a little simple, but actually, you always have to think of in which direction the item is moving. So you always have to think of yourself, speaker, and the other person involved in the transactions. You use ageru when you are the giver, when the giver gives something, when you are the giver, and when you give the item to someone. And you are describing the giving action from the speaker's perspective. So you give other person, ageru, you give other person, ageru, other person gives other person, that's also ageru. That's giving action seen from you perspective, speaker perspective. Now for morau, this is receiving. So you're basically this is the incoming item. You are describing what you receive from the speaker's perspective. So the item that comes into you, receive from all the other person, morau, receive from other person, morau. So this is the item that comes toward you, morau. So that was giving and receiving, and there's actually another way of describing the giving action. This is kureru. This one could be a little complicated. Kureru. So kureru, if you make it into English, that's also give actually. But what it means is that somebody gives me something. Giver ga o wa watashi ni object o kureru. So watashi ni kureru. Now, what's complicated here is it means giving, but it's the giving action described from the receiver's perspective. Look at the example. 彼女が私に時計をくれました。彼女が私に時計をくれました。This is my girlfriend gave me a watch. This is giving action, but you are the receiver. So you are saying somebody gave me something. So giving action seen from the receiver perspective. 両親は私にお金をくれません。くれません。So it's giving action too, but you are the receiver. Your parents don't give you money. So you are the receiver. So once again, the くれる structure is giver が私 meaning receiver に object をくれる. So if you see that in the diagram, this is somebody gives you something gives you to. So an item that comes toward you. This is a giving action seen from the receiver's perspective. So this situation can be written as 姉が my sister 私にぬいぐるみをくれます. My sister gives me a stuffed toy. くれます. Of course, that's the giving action. You can rewrite it with the receiving action. もらいます. In that case, 私は姉にぬいぐるみを もらいます。姉にぬいぐるみをもらいます。Second sentence is the receiving action. First sentence is the giving action. Same event described from the different perspective. So this relationship of くれる、あげる and もらう always have to think of the relations between people and which direction the item is moving, and also you have to think from whose perspective you're seeing the transaction.